Thank you for joining me today. I'm really excited about this video. If you follow my channel at all, Freelance Duck Hunting, you know that I absolutely love to keep track of all of my data from waterfowl hunts. Now, this started probably in the late 80s. Old Fumbles and we decided to make a little competition. And he and I, every year, we would keep track of exactly what birds and what species that we had harvested. And then we would just have a little competition, just he and I. So after a while, the competition kind of dropped off, which sneak peek, we may kind of start that up again on Freelance Hunt Stats, something similar to it. But once that dropped off, it just turned into logging and journaling about our waterfowl hunts. And after about, I can't even tell you how much time I put into creating this spreadsheet. You would log your data from each hunt into the spreadsheet, and that data would just fly every which direction. It would tell you how many birds per hunt am I killing, how many birds per hunt am I losing. Man, it did so much. At this particular location, what are my numbers there? It was really an intensive spreadsheet. But I realized soon that it was just not doing really what I wanted it to do. So I remember telling my dad, this is before I even started Freelance Hunt Stats. I remember telling my dad, man, wouldn't it be cool if we could have developed a website or an app that were to keep track of these stats in a much more graphically pleasing way, where the data is easier to enter, more functions. This was a dream that I had, guys. It was a dream that I had. And once Freelance Duck Hunting started, and I started getting a little bit of a following, I kind of redug that idea back up, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I could try to get this done, and I could offer it to Freelance Duck Hunting subscribers, people that watch the channel, because now I know that keeping journals and data and records is not for everybody, but I also know there's a huge demographic of people that like doing that. So I got it done. I fell into a couple of developers that are amazing people and amazing developers, and we made Freelance Hunt Stats. Well, they made it. It was lots of meetings, lots of ideas, and we got it done. So what I want to do with this video right now is I want to show you my lifetime data that since I've been recording, which is about, I think 11, 12 years now. I've been hunting for about 27 years, so I've got a whole portion of data that just got lost. Some of which I didn't keep thoroughly, some of it just got lost. But I've got the last 12 years, and I have been keeping it at Freelance Hunt Stats. So I'm going to show you that. But what I want to show you my lifetime statistics, and I want to show you the progression of Freelance Duck Hunting. If you have been watching my YouTube channel since the beginning, our first 2 years were brutal. Absolutely terrible. So I'm going to show you the statistics of those places, of those years, and just kind of show you how I've done and how it's progressed. So let's go ahead and jump into this, and I want to show you guys some stuff here. So here we are over at Freelance Hunt Stats. This is what it looks like. If you want to create an account there, you can actually create a free account. If you have a free account, here's what you have access to. You can log your hunts. And you can have a record of exactly what happened on each and every hunt. So here's what it looks like when you're logging a hunt. You've got your hunt type, your date, your name, your location, which you create, the state. And then once you fill in that, you go to your weather conditions, the temperature, the wind speed, wind direction. Then you go to game information, how many birds of what kind you shot, whether they were lost, just however you did on your hunt, how many you harvested. And then the last section is gunning information, how many shots fired. That is optional. You don't have to keep that. I would say most people don't. Most people do not keep track of how many shots that they fired. So you don't have to keep that. But did you shoot doubles? Did you shoot triples? And any gunning notes. And every section has a notes category, and those are specifically just for your memory when you look back over your hunts, that you'll be able to remember what happened. Then when you update the hunt, you just have a total, and it just tells you exactly how you did on that hunt. Again, there's shooting percentage. Most people don't even keep that, so that's not a big deal. But it just gives you your general guidelines of everything that happened on that hunt. Now, if you become a member, you get this lifetime stats tab right there. You also get the cruise tab, which means that you can connect accounts with your buddies and see each other's and look what your group totals are. And so let's look at the lifetime stats real quick. Now these right here, these are my lifetime stats over the last 10, 11 years. I'm going to try to not let you see the hunt location section because I really don't want to show it. It shows my shooting percentage, harvested per hunt, lost per hunt, shots fired per hunt, total hunts, total harvested, total lost, total doubles, total triples, and total shots fired. And again, all of this data is optional. If you don't want shooting percentage, it's not there. Then this tab here, this global, this is the data for everyone else on this website. So there has been 6,448 hunts that have been posted on this site. Now, I want to jump to the filter real quick because it's important to filter by type for waterfowl, because that's what I want to look at. So there's been 5,922 waterfowl hunts. The others like to deer, get those out of there, or dove, or whatever. And here is what everyone harvested on the site. So there's just a total. Now you cannot look at people's individual hunt data unless you combine with each other in the crew tab. And the crew tab over here is you can send an invitation to a buddy of yours. And so here is the FDH crew, which is just myself, Fummelmit, and Aiden. And if I go to combine crew stats, now it's just showing the three of us, three of our hunt stats. But again, you cannot look at, and no one can see your data, no one can see your stats unless you give them the chance to do that. If you give them the chance to do that, they still cannot see your hunt location. So I wanted to make this secure so people aren't worried about, I don't want people seeing where I hunt. And yeah, it's completely secure. I can't even go in and see. Now my developer could find it, I suppose, if they started digging and stuff. But I can't even see that information on my end as well. So that's the crew tab. Back over to personal real quick. I want to show you the filters real fast, and then I want to show you the progression of freelance duck hunting and how our numbers have been over the last 5 years. 2017. So I'm going to show you the data for the first 2 years of freelance duck hunting, my personal data there. So that's going to be the year of 15 and 16. Okay, so these are the first 2 years that I've recorded hunts on freelance duck hunting. So I only averaged 2.3 birds per hunt, 46 hunts, 106 harvested, 5 lost, so 53 birds each of those 2 years. Total shots 281. And let's look at the birds I actually harvested here. So during those 2 years, 35 blue-winged teal, 31 mallard drakes. I always love to look at my mallard drake to mallard hen ratios, which 31-5. I'm happy with that. A few shovelers, gadwalls, redhead, ringneck, 1 pintail drake, 1 pintail hen. So those are my numbers for those first 2 years. I can honestly tell you that those were the two worst years of my waterfowling career. I mean, they just absolutely sucked. In fact, season number 2 of freelance duck hunting, I shot 0 birds, got skunked 45% of my hunts, which is just unbelievably bad. Unbelievably bad. So let's go ahead now, and I'm going to filter this by the last 3 years of freelance hunt stats. And so for the last 3 years, almost an entire bird more per hunt. So 55% shooting percentage, 3.2 birds per hunt. Only lost 0.08. So that means out of 100 hunts, I would lose 8 birds out of 100 hunts. And one of the things I am most proud about is how few birds I actually lose. So during that same time span, if you go look at the global community, that their loss per hunt is 0.25, which is 25 birds out of every 100 hunts, or 1 out of 4 hunts. A bird is lost is the average out of 4,711 hunts. And mine is 0.08. That is one of my very favorite data points to keep track of, is how few birds that I lose. So in the last 3 years, I've only lost 8. 3 1 year, let's see, 2, 4, 4 1 year, and then 2 the other 2 years. So 8 birds lost out of 91 hunts really, really makes me happy about that. So as you can see, the last 3 years have been fantastic, almost averaging 3 birds away from averaging 100 birds a season. So the first, you think about it, the first 2 seasons of freelance duck hunting, I was averaging about 50 ducks or 50 waterfowl, ducks and geese a year. The last 3 averaging almost 100. So it's actually doubling. Now I did go on more hunts. I was doing about 22 hunts a year. Year 1 was 22 hunts. Year 2 was 24 hunts, and then I was doing 30 to 30. So I did hunt more often, but almost doubling my harvest per year. And let's look at the bird numbers these last 3 years. 94 mallard drakes, 59 blue-winged teal, 47 green-winged teal, 20 gadwall. And there's that mallard drake to mallard hen ratio. That's another one I love. Now, I am not opposed to people taking some mallard hens. I'm not. I just think it's more fun to shoot green. So I've got 94 drakes to 12 hens. I think that's a fantastic ratio. I guess it could be better, but it's not a bad ratio at all. Shovelers, widgeon, pintail hen. Only 2 pintail drakes in the last 3 years. That's gotta step up. And only 1 wood duck drake, 1 snow goose, 28 Canada geese, 2 coots. And every now and then, typically it's about once every 3 years, I'll pop a coot. I just kind of get in the mood and it's right there and I'll pop them. So forgive me. So I don't know. I love data and I love logging my hunts and I love going back and reading through the notes section and just remembering everything. That's what it's about. I do love numbers, but what it's really about is the memories. And it takes something that I am so passionate for, and it allows me to sit at home. Here it is, early August, and I'm sitting at home and I'm just playing around with waterfowl stuff. And that's why I love it. I'm going to show you one more aspect to this site I think that you're going to like on the filters. If you go back to the filters, you see this filter by weather. Now, filter by locations is super cool too, but I can't really show that to you because I don't want to be showing you my locations. So let me show you filter by weather. Check this out. Mostly sunny days. And I am not going to include over 60 degrees. In fact, you know what? Let's do this. Let's just not include over 60 degree days, because if it's over 60 degrees, it's probably teal hunting, and so it doesn't make a difference at all. So let's just do mostly sunny days for waterfowl hunting under 60 degrees and take a peek at it. And I'm going to show you global numbers on this. I think global numbers are more important. So 3.1 sunny days under 60 degrees and 1,545 hunts. The global freelance hunt stats community shoots 3.1 birds per hunt. Now, not everyone keeps track of their weather. Like I said before, you don't have to keep track of your weather. You can keep track of what you do or don't want to keep track of. So you can tell that, not everyone even keeps track of the weather. All right, so let's take a look at the filters again, but this time I'm going to change it to cloudy. So sunny was 3.1, cloudy 2.8. So how much difference does sunny versus cloudy make? Well, according to my understanding of the way data works, is that you need at least 1,000 samples in order for something to be considered statistically reliable. And so here we've got over 1,000 hunts on both, and it looks like that sunny days under 60 degrees is about 0.3 birds better per hunt. So sunny days look better, but is it really that much? The numbers would say it's not all that much, but 0.3 is not insignificant. The other thing I want to show you is wind. Let's get it off that. And let's look, what is the hunting like with wind 13 up to 20 plus? The global average is 3.7. So when the wind gets above 13 degrees, hunters are averaging 3.7 birds per hunt. So what about under? How about 12 and under? Let's see, 2.9, almost a full bird difference. So wind is much bigger variable than sun is. It just is. Now, check this one out. This is when it really gets, what about less than 6 miles an hour wind? 2.6. So as the wind drops, the hunting drops. And we all already knew that. But this is just data to back it up. If you decide you would like to start a subscription at Freelance Hunt Stats, there's a really cool offer right now, and it's for a limited time. We may decide to extend it, but I'm not positive. If you go to patreon.com/freelance duck hunting and you decide to fan fund what I'm doing here for at least $3 a month, you will get an automatic membership to Freelance Hunt Stats. Now, where does that money go? Right now, I've actually brought Jordan Fromer, my podcast partner, into the mix with this Freelance Hunt Stats stuff and with Patreon as well. And so everything that's made from Patreon right now is slipping away into an account, and we are going to dump it into Freelance Hunt Stats. We have the most amazing ideas to how to enhance your hunting experience that I'm going to be sharing at a different time exactly what those ideas are. So everything that goes into Patreon right now is going right into the development of Freelance Hunt Stats to make the user experience just that much better. Check it out, freelancehuntstats.com. Again, if you want the 2-for-1, where you can go join on to Patreon and join Jordan Fromer and myself. It's the Duck Gun Podcast. It's a fan funding site that we are going to pile whatever money we can into this and make this the coolest waterfowl gathering on the internet. Go to patreon.com/freelance duck hunting, and $3 a month you can get all the Patreon data, plus you can instantly have yourself a Freelance Hunt Stats account too. If you're not interested in the Patreon side, you can go right to Freelance Hunt Stats, set yourself up a free account where you don't get the filters, you don't get the lifetime stats, but at least you can start gathering your data. And you can do that as well, or you can just sign up for membership. Comment down below any thoughts, questions that you have. Message me or email me if you have any questions. I'd be happy to discuss it with you. And it's just something I'm excited about. I think it'll bring a lot of value to what you're doing as well. So that's all I've got today. Happy hunting, and start logging those hunts.